Let me tell you my signature. You'll know it's me by this. There were two Balaams and two Balaks. Two of them. That's four people total that you're talking about. Now, when it's in Pergamus, those are the enemies of God. When it's in the Old Testament, that's a real story because it's talking about the daywalkers. The daywalkers are like the Mexicans, and they're lady walkers. Okay, you got a picture like a stick figure that's walking, and they have the female spirit in the smoke. Some might appear that way, or some just have wisdom. So it's their ancestry. Now, I'm not talking about South Americans. I'm talking about Mexicans. I'm not talking about Spanish. I'm talking about Mexicans. And the way that Balaam was is that he kicked his ox. He kicked his ox, and it was speaking to him. And what it is that he was an extreme Han of the Spanish girl. Now, it's funny, and God was showing you grace and mercy. He was showing you it's a funny story because he was showing you the realness of how rich in Smyrna, which comes before Pergamus, is not a bad view on the dances, the booty dance, which he knew would come with Barak. So you got Balak, Barak, and Balaam. Okay? Now, Barak was a lame hook. He was a Lamech 77. 7 after Paul Walker and 70 to the 911. So Balak is related to Lamech. Okay. So, and you say, why is that? Because it's balance of the A and the K. So we know Obama had Isaiah 11 from his extreme hook of the animal type spirits, which Don helped him with to decipher, of the showing superiority, which he saw from the Chicago preset and the gay corporate. So it's a take on it from the nature sense, which is what he went through in his Blair Witch. So it's bow of A, which is the F is UUUS. Okay. So UU is Fast and Furious. You got the dances going on in Brazil. The US is the Medea, okay, and the more. The EPH is the Ben Stiller, okay, and that's the that's the separation. That's the leaving out of Paul Walker when he's in the trailer and they go to loot the truck. So you got a separation going on. He was showing it through Ben Stiller from the Owen Wilson pictures. So, and who was showing it that way? God was. So that's how Balak and Barak are connected. Now he kicks the ox because he was speaking to him. And what it kind of means is that he was going through it with a UFC funny man UFC. That's what he was doing, the comedian UFC, that movie. Because he does that. Some updated information. I saw it on the TV and it's connected. I don't watch those shows. I don't watch that stuff. I just saw it here. Um, Funny man UFC. So so God was like, "What?" you know? He was like, "What?" So then he tested him and was like, "Let me see who you are. Let me see who you are, Balaam. Like, you trying to be funny man UFC, or is your girl against that for you?" So he was like, "Let me see who you are." So Balak did all these visions with him. He was like, "Let me show you over here." He was like, "Let me show you over here next. And let me show you over here last." So what they do is each one, Balaam's like, "Nah, man, I see unicorns. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This people is like, they something else, man. They mobbing like it's gangs of New York. Like they real mobbing EE. Like, you trying to do all this weird, funny shit." He's like, "God's not having it." So then they keep going, and then Balaam's just like, "Look, you doing these mirages, like you doing these mirages, man." And that was the showing of the vampire. That was the showing of the vampire because in the mirror you can't see a vampire, and that's related to Shia LaBeouf, Disney Channel, even Stevens. Mom's Got a Day with the Vampire. So he was like, "You doing these mirages?" And Balak stops. He stops it and says, "Yeah, these people they are something else." He's like, "You are too." And they go off and have dances, and they have a good friendship. And that's how you'll know it's me. When you see the difference. Because the one in Pergamus, he didn't do so good. He didn't. God didn't like who he was. But the one in Old Testament, he was cool. And the one they kill later in Old Testament, that's the bad one. So there is a division. It's unclear the way it was before, but hopefully with me doing the John Strongs, it'll be clear now. And you'll know that that's me, okay?